You have a monologue or an audition that you're doing and it requires a prop. Do you bring a prop with you to the audition, or do you mime the prop while you're at the audition? We're going to talk about these situations and a few other audition questions that people have after the bump. Howdy, I am Doug Fall, your augmented actor, helping you augment your acting career with tips and tactics and tech. We're bringing your career into the future. If you like what you see here, please remember to hit that subscribe button so that you can see more of the same kind of thing. So you're given a scene and you're going into an audition or maybe doing a self-tape, and the scene requires a phone or a letter or a baseball bat or something like that. There's some prop that you have to have. Do you bring the prop to the audition? Do you use the prop in your self-tape? Well, the answer is pretty much almost always no. You do not need to bring props with you, and you probably shouldn't use them. It's not about the prop when you're auditioning, it's about your performance. So if the script says you hit somebody with a baseball bat, don't bring a baseball bat. It's gonna clutter up your audition, it's gonna be unnecessary use, and it can be easily just indicated in the script. Now, do you mime the prop? Do you mime a baseball bat? It might be okay to mime a quick movement like that, but in general, you kind of just wanna cut that movement out of the scene altogether and just act as if you just hit somebody with a baseball bat instead of actually trying to do the action. The auditors will forgive you for just interpreting the script the way it is. What if it's a cell phone? You're talking on the phone and the whole piece is on the phone. Well, I recommend the best way to do that is to just, maybe indicate that you're taking a call and then treat it as if you're on speakerphone. Even if it's an old-timey piece where they actually had, the phones and things, don't mime the phone like this. Don't spend your whole audition with your hand up to your face because it just looks dumb. Just treat it like you are on the phone and then ignore the phone. If you have a letter that you're reading for somebody, use the script that you're holding as the letter. Or if you don't have a script in your hand, perhaps a piece of paper is fine. If it's really crucial to the piece that you show something or you throw something at somebody, it's okay to have a small prop, a piece of paper, a piece of gum, something like that. Incidentally, Barbra Streisand, there's a famous story about an audition of hers where she came in, she was late to the audition, she hurried in, people didn't know who she was at the time, and she was chewing gum, and she grabbed a stool and she sat down and she started to do her piece, and she said, oh shit, I got my gum, and she took it out and she stuck it on the stool, and then she just broke into her monologue and did her monologue or song or whatever it was, and then she left the audition. And the people that were in the casting were suspicious of that, and they walked over to the bench to see the stool to see if she had actually put some gum on there, and of course there was no gum. She faked that prop so good that they believed it. They believed that she was really a hurried actress, but it really won her the role because the fact that there was no prop there at the end, that there was no gum on that bench, was the giveaway that she was delivering a performance the entire time. So that's a really great story, and it's a way that you can mime a prop or use a prop without actually having the prop there. You just convince your audience that the prop exists. What about other audition situations like that? Like, what if you've got to sit down? Well, usually there's a chair in your audition room, and if there is a chair anywhere on the stage when you come in there, it's yours to use. It's there for you to use, so don't even worry about that. Just treat it like it's a tool. So chairs are okay. If there's no chair there, don't sit down. Rehearse your monologue or your scene without sitting, and just forget that it said you had to sit. Okay, now here's another situation. What if you are given more than one character to talk to in a monologue? This is particularly evident when you're doing a self-tape at home, but it can happen on stage too. When you're reading with someone, do you pretend to talk to this character over here and this character over there, and then go back to the reader? Not necessarily. That looks awkward when you're on stage. If you're reading with a reader and you're reading to multiple characters, just sort of shift your focus slightly to the left of the reader, slightly to the right of the reader, but stay focused on the reader. And if you're doing a self-tape, it's okay to look on one side of the camera, like this, for one character, the other side of the camera for another character. Never place the character over here or behind you, because that's just dumb. Sometimes scripts call for action, or you have to hit somebody, or you have to drag somebody across the floor, or you have to kick somebody really hard. And in those cases, especially if you're doing a self-tape at home, you want to just sort of do the most minimal version of that. So you're entering a room, just enter the room. That's all you gotta do, is just step forward one step. Or you can come in from the side, like this. And you've entered the room. It's more about how you react when you enter the room. And if you're doing some action like dragging somebody, just take it off camera, like this, just like, and give the intensity that you're lifting somebody, but don't mime that you got a body on you, that kind of thing. If you've got to kiss somebody in a scene and there's nobody there, just skip the kiss. Play what happens after the kiss. And if you're acting with somebody in a scene and you gotta kiss them, always get their permission first. And usually at auditions, you don't need to do that. Maybe give them a hug or a touch on the shoulder. Just take a moment that would be the kiss and then react to it as if it was a kiss. So in general, no props, no miming. Keep your actions minimal and use a chair if you need it and it's available for you. Every once in a while, you can bring a small prop with you if it helps. Maybe $1 in your wallet. Maybe you use your cell phone as a prop if it's appropriate for the piece. And maybe you have a note or a letter in your pocket. Those kind of little things are nice touches, and they show that you've prepared something in advance. But in general, keep the props out of the audition room. So have you ever used a prop in an audition? And if so, did it work out for you? Tell me about it in the comments below. Oh, and guess what? Look, we got Augmented Actor t-shirts. They are available on the Augmented Actor website in the merch category, and I would love to see you wearing one someday. So give them a look. I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.